Gentlemen, it's become pretty commonplace to see the accusation and the headline that Israel is committing genocide. What do you say to that accusation or that charge?
And I was just going to start by saying it's one thing to make a charge. It's another thing to identify legally what you're saying and make that charge stick. By legal definition, Israel is not committing genocide. Has there been suffering in Gaza? Yes.
It's
has there
heartbreaking.
been has there been innocent people killed and hurt? Yes. Is that genocide? No. Genocide
that's war.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the last war fought like this was World War II. Israel was brutally attacked. Hamas tried to commit genocide. There was genocide, but it was done by Hamas. Israel has been trying to defeat Hamas, who embedded themselves in their population, used their own population as human shields. Israel has done everything it can to try and eliminate Hamas without doing any damage or little damage as possible to the innocent people being held by Hamas in there. That's gone far beyond what any civilized nation has ever done in a time of war. And yet Israel's being charged with genocide, but it's not. It's the fact of war, but the genocide's on the part of Hamas.
So one of the things that I think we need to look back at is the blood libel.
Yeah.
There was the blood libel that Jewish people in the Middle Ages would allegedly kill Christian children and use their blood to make Passover matzah, or that they would steal the host on Easter weekend and re-pierce it and make it bleed. And these blood libels led to hatred and murder of the Jewish people. This is just a modern blood libel. I think that that's important that we put it in the right category. But in terms of legal definitions, clearly genocide must be intentional. There must be an intent to carry out the full-scale elimination of a people or a large population of a people. Israel is doing everything it can not to, from leaflets that are dropped to door knocks, roof knocks, when a bomb is coming, to text messages, to phone calls. They're trying to get people out of harm's way because they're coming after Hamas. So I think there is no intentionality, and that's a legal requirement for something to be a genocide. And the second thing that I think is really important, and I know that you guys would agree, is that the numbers that are being put forward in terms of casualties are from Hamas.
Right.
Who trusts that? That's ridiculous. It is one of the most insane things to take a terrorist group and say, oh yeah, they're giving us the honest numbers on this. They're not.
Right, yeah, a terrorist organization that we can't trust at all. But when it comes to statistics, they're very accurate.
Yeah, the Gaza Health Ministry is the Hamas Health Ministry.
Yeah.
That's it's crazy.
Yeah, and so, some viewers might be wondering, okay, Dr. Michael Rydelnik, open line on Moody Radio, you do Bible teaching, right? Gerad Hall, you find yourself on Moody Radio quite a bit. You're behind a pulpit quite a bit. Dr. Charlie Dyer, Land in the Book radio program for Moody Bible Institute. You find yourself behind a pulpit, right? Here I am, leader of a missions organization. Why are we talking about politics? Right? Because I see this accusation that, what does this have to do with the gospel? What does this have to do with Bible teaching? Okay? And so people aren't making the connection here. And so let's help them make it, because I've heard from several folks now that even pastors who love Israel are just completely ignoring this topic.
It's true.
And I think that's problematic.
Yeah, well, they're ceding ground to the enemy in one major way, because if Israel is guilty of genocide, then there's penalties against Israel that need to be brought to bear. But if Israel's not, then we need to get to the truth. And part of the gospel, part of our being as believers, is to be truth bearers.
Yeah.
And not only the truth about Jesus Christ, but about the truth about Israel and about the world. And
no lie is of the truth.
Yeah.
The great liar.
Yeah.
The
and
enemy.
This is such a massive distortion of reality that I find myself shaking my head, having walked through Beery, one of the communities devastated by Hamas. I've seen what genocide looks like, and that's what they committed. We need to tell people that, but that gets lost, and we need to make sure people understand the whole truth.
Yeah.
It's becoming a justification for anti-Semitism.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, and also one of the things that really drives this is an attempt at Holocaust inversion, that the people who experienced genocide, that the word genocide was actually coined to describe what happened to the Jewish people during the Nazi Holocaust, that now they are committing genocide. Now, this is very touchy to me. My parents were both Holocaust survivors. I lost my grandparents. I lost my aunts and uncles, all at either Auschwitz or Treblinka. I also lost 4 brothers, half-brothers, and a half-sister at Auschwitz. I know what genocide is. And there was an intention on the part of the Nazis to eliminate every last Jew, at least in Europe, if not the world. And that was the intentionality, and they worked at it. Israel is doing the very opposite. And so it is just an anti-Semitic attack to invert the Holocaust and say those who suffered are now becoming the oppressors.
Yeah. And lies have consequences, right? As we've said, whether that's in our personal lives and we're believing a lie, but the consequences of believing the lie that Israel is committing a genocide is having a really negative effect. It's taking a toll on the Jewish community. It's taking a toll on Israelis. And what should pastors be saying from the pulpits? What should they keep ignoring it? Is this just something that's only for public debate? And what should a pastor be saying if they're going to address this issue?
Well, I think you bring truth to bear in light. Again, I wouldn't necessarily do an entire sermon on is this genocide or not. But I think I would talk about what is happening and look at it in light of what the Bible says. The world's going to turn against Israel. Satan's the father of lies, and encourage the congregation. The way you counter lies is truth. So what are you learning truthfully about what's happening? Where are you getting your information from? And here are some sources that you could look at. And I would challenge you as a congregation, follow up on these. Read the material and gain your own opinion so that you're not buying the lie, because that's what Satan loves to do, is to feed us a lie.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.